I wouldn't say that it's hard. I think that it's a commitment. I said, the thing is that we did not know what we were doing. Well, most of us didn't. Jason knows what he's doing.
Shout out to Out Your Core.
We didn't know what we were doing at the beginning. All we had was a vision. And then I was just like, so we just started. Every week we're publishing episodes. And so every week we're learning something different. I mean, even if you look like at the images of each episode, every week you're going to see a progressive improvement in my skills when it comes to making the graphics, right? Because the first episode I didn't, and so then I tried one thing the next week, and every week I'm like, well, let me just try one skill to apply. It only takes you maybe 15 to 60 minutes to learn one skill in 1 week. And then if you practice it for 20 weeks, then you've learned so many different skills and practices.
Episode 22. What it do? Good, bad, breakthrough.
Here you go, messing up Jason's sound already.
You know what I'm saying? Already. He's already turning me up and turning me down. We got...
Oh, wait, am I doing it?
We got okay. Queen here.
Hey, y'all, I'm Keena.
I'm Drew. And we good, bad, breakthrough.
Good Bad Breakthrough Podcast. Yep. We got Jason in the house.
Jason Hafman. Hey, always snapping.
And we here.
Andrea's enjoying time with baby. Long day at work, so give her grace. You know what I wanted to share with you?
What?
I haven't shared it with you yet.
What?
So for those of you who don't know Keena and I on a very personal level, we are now parents of high school graduates.
Class of 2022.
Yeah, and interesting enough, actually, their last names are so close that
they sat
Alicia and Kayshawn sat next to each other, who were on the show at graduation. And I loved your post. I read your post. It was beautiful. Thank you for that. You put thought into it. It was very sincere and pure. And I wanted to share with you, just as a parent, that I still haven't made time to process that moment. And what I mean by that is like when we were there, we had Andrea's family, we had my family, we had our immediate family, we had friends, so much emotion and anxiety behind all that, so many moving parts. Anthony's girlfriend was there. We met her for the first time. Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Hey, Anthony's girlfriend.
And this was Friday night. Then we had people over at the house. Everybody left like around 11:30. But since the day of graduation, which was 6 days ago, right, on Friday, we've just been busy. I even made time to go to Appleton with Alicia to get her brand new car repaired. So we drove to Appleton yesterday, and I spent 4 or 5 hours with her. It was beautiful. We went out to lunch, we hung out, we were at the dealership, we drove back, we had some good drive time. But I even talked to her in the moment, I committed to myself, at the graduation, I was like, I'm going to go to the Arboretum and I'm going to cry. And I'm really going to ground myself with the universe, and I'm just going to process this moment. And it was interesting because when I was with Alicia, I wasn't talking overly fast, but we were always staying busy with something and never talking about damn, I have a high school graduate right now.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I was avoiding it because I had already made a pre-commitment to myself that I would express that emotion by myself, or what it was. But it's just interesting. I wanted to ask you, have you taken out 30 minutes to an hour just to let it sink in, let it process? And I ask because I know we're both so busy.
Yeah. I mean, so we went on a mini vacation.
Yeah.
A working mini vacation. We went to the teen summit. Friday was graduation. We were out there until 11 o'clock. I want to say 10:30 at night or something like that. And then Saturday, my brother came into town from Texas, him and his wife. So, and then I was preparing for the retreat, the conference, the summit. So, family time was me teaching the kids how to make waist beads, right?
Yeah.
And we went to my mom's house. We all enjoyed company with my brother. And then Sunday, we hit the road to this mini family vacay, right? Before we hit the road, we went over to the South Side to take a look at Kayshawn's billboard. take pictures in front of the billboard. And so after we left from the south side, taking pictures in front of his billboard, we headed up towards the Dells. We took Stoughton Road. And so it was funny because I was like, wow, Kayshawn. I was like, doesn't it feel crazy? Because, we're driving past Flom Road.
Yeah.
So I'm like, wow, Kayshawn, doesn't this feel crazy? Like, you're done with high school. This is your turn.
Yeah.
Your exit. This is your exit that you would take every day to go to school for 3 years, since we missed a year of COVID. But this is your turn, and you're not going there anymore. You're done.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, it's kind of crazy. And, like, that was it. Like, and then it's just like, just like, wow, like, you're really, I think when we go to student orientation at campus, it's going to probably feel like, wow, like, we're really going to college orientation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went to orientation by myself when I went to my college orientation. He's going to be living on campus. Like, what? Like, I'm thinking about, I thought senior year was the most expensive year of high school. And then I'm like, freshman year probably going to be expensive. I'm thinking about that money. Like, oh my God. I'm like, KK, you're going to have to work a job while you're in college, because how else are you going to get money?
Yeah.
I'm not going to be sending you, I'm not going to be sending you money. I'm going to be sending him money.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, is he going to come home with like loads of laundry on the weekend talking about, Mom, I got to wash my, like, what is he going to do? Is he going to eat? Like, I feel like I was freaking out for the weeks leading up to graduation, like, realizing like, oh my God, my son is 18. He's about to graduate. He's about to go into the world. What? Like, wait, I don't know. I'm not ready. We're not ready. And then Kayshawn the whole time, then KK is like, I can't wait to go and be independent. You know what I mean? And I'm like, are you sure? Yeah. You sure you want to? You sure? Yeah. He's like, yeah, I can't wait to just go and be independent. And I'm just like, so do you want me to show you some recipes or something? Like, are you sure you're gonna have a regular rotation for your laundry? So I've been just freaking out. Yeah. Like, I need to teach you more things. Yeah. Like, are you sure? Like, I'm driving down East Wash and I'm like, the cars are driving, like last night, I'm like, the cars are driving crazy. If the car comes by you driving crazy, just pull over. Don't try to engage. Like, yeah. I'm just like, oh my God, I need to give you more life lessons. Yeah. Right. But then I also know he's going to be okay. Yeah. They're going to be all right. But I'm freaking out. Yeah. Like, not as much. After graduation, I was like, wow, like, we just did this. Yeah.
It's like he's about to leave the nest. For real.
I don't know what it's like to have one kid at home, like, again. Like, it was KK for 10 years. Yeah. Then Caleb came along.
Now you're going back down to just Caleb.
That's crazy to me.
I know. I saw, because I haven't taken time out to reflect. Uh-huh. I think my thing of not processing Alicia's graduation yet, I know I'm holding in because I know when I let it go, it's going to be ugly. Uh-huh. It's going to be a lot of crying. It's going to be a lot of yelling. It's going to be a lot of screaming, because there's some shadow work that I have to do within myself. And just, I mean, we were both, how you were 16 and I was 15. I was 8 days before my 16th birthday. I had Alicia. Mm-hmm. And just remembering all like the negative things that were told to me when I was a 15, 16-year-old parent, mm-hmm. about what life is going to be like, what your child's going to go through, mm-hmm. how you're going to fail, how you're going to mm-hmm. live this type of lifestyle now because you've made these poor decisions. Mm-hmm. And like, just all that negative self-talk, or all that those negative comments that were received by different, members of the family, different teachers. Mm-hmm. And just like, I think that I have to go back and just like, forgive them, forgive myself, and then allow myself to be able to like really just like celebrate the fact that, like, when I was 15, I had my baby girl, and now I'm 34 and she graduated high school. Yeah. And she's just an amazing person. Keisha's an amazing person. Like, mm-hmm. we really like help influence amazing young adults. Yeah. And I want to be able to talk through some of these things and talk through some characteristics of Alicia, and like, talk through some of like our moments. Like, and I just want to do that with myself. I don't want anybody to like influence that. I don't want any variables to be around that. Yeah. And it's like, it's almost like I'm like saving the moment for myself. You know what I mean?
Okay.
it's just interesting. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's, it doesn't, for me, it just doesn't feel so as final. It just feels like, okay, that's the chapter.
Yeah.
And then here's another, like, it's like, boom, next chapter. Like, it's like I feel like we're launching into the next chapter. And so I'll tell you the two things for me was when I really felt that was after the last basketball game, the last high school basketball game.
Yeah.
I think that was really like when it really, probably when I went through that, because I cried that whole night and then I cried the next day. Like I was like, oh my, like, and I would tell him, like, because this was after the actual season was over, and then we were going into the playoffs, right? And you was there.
Yeah, I remember.
And so but every game after the end of the season was like, this could be your last game. Like I'm telling him, and I'm also telling me, like, this could be your last game. Like, oh my God, we're coming on the last game. Like, and the football was okay. That's in the football because we got basketball coming.
Yeah.
But now he played his last basketball game, his last high school basketball game. And so then it was just like, and he even talked about that on the episode when he came, and he was just like, basketball, this was just after the season, right? And he was just like, man, like basketball's over. It's like for the school year, now he's starting to think about his identity. Who am I, like, outside of the basketball court? And I think that I was also, I was connected to that because I was feeling that too. That's where my big feelings were coming from, right? And then my girl, Tiffany McHale, she had texted me on Saturday, and she was just like, this is about your son, and, this is amazing. Like, congratulations that he graduated. But then also it's like, you got to take a moment and just sit to yourself and say, I effing did that, like, and I forget sometimes, like, that I'm a single mother, I be forgetting because I've been a single mom for most of his life. And so it's just everyday normal for me at this point. And I'm like, man, like I am a single parent. Like Kayshawn's dad has been in prison most of his school years, And so, I cultivated a village of people to surround him with, to support him. It's like I did the facilitating and the cultivating. I did the planning and the organizing and the, shuffling. I didn't do everything, but I facilitated everything, whether it was me asking, hey, can you give him rides to this? Can you do that? And it's like, dang, like I did do that. Like I was the one who was sitting up in the middle of the night, figuring out, okay, I got to do this, I got to do that, and it's like, these things are not ending. I don't feel finality on that right now. I don't feel final on that because I'm like, man, he's going to go to college, and I'm freaking out because I'm like, okay, what do I got to teach him to make sure that he's going to be straight, or what things is going to pop up. Y'all had these storms when I was out of town at the beginning of the week. A tree fell on his car, and then he didn't come back in time, so he got a ticket on his car. And so then I'm like, okay, he's got to have there's things that he needs to know. How do you handle this? Don't put these things off. Don't do that. I got to teach him those things. Like, and thankfully he does have a village of people because, yeah, it's like I can't be everywhere at once, and I can't be everything, and I don't have all the answers. So I'm just thankful that I put my son around the right people. You know what I mean? For him to be who he is, the right coaches, the right friends, the right family, the right thought processes, the right thinking skills, so that I raised a kid who I am so proud of, who I can trust, and who I admire. You know what I mean? And so, yeah, I'm thankful for all of these, and I just don't feel the finality of it.
I think it's important. There's a lot of things that you said that really resonate with me, as always. But one thing that's meaningful and relevant to, I was talking to Jason about listening to the last podcast, and even being in this moment when you had mentioned that, you're getting, praise about, doing such a wonderful job with your son as a single mother. To you, single mother is a normality. this is a daily, weekly, monthly thing. It's not something that is like special or unique to you anymore. It's like, oh, this I eat, sleep, and breathe it. You know what I mean? You're accustomed to it. Because I tell people this all the time, especially in leadership and in business, it's like there's always different perspectives. Just like even in that moment, like they're looking at you like, man, it's a phenomenal, and you're like, well, this is a normality. But it's like even in the normalities of like leadership, motherhood, fatherhood, and business, even though it's a normality, reminding yourself that because of the normality, it's created a phenomenal result. You know, even in the restaurant, like when we're moving and grooving and things are like going wrong or making mistakes and we're fixing it as we go. But then the guest is like, oh my gosh, you guys killed it today. But we're like, no, we didn't. But we did.
Yeah.
It's just because we're so aligned with the normality of the day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month. I always tell people, remind yourself that like these products that you have or what you are giving the world, it's an amazing thing because you have that normality. So it's like, because I tell people, it's like, you know, we don't want to demean like our own value or our own worth because we don't appreciate as much. When I worked at Bonefish Grill for 3 years, it wasn't like a ambiance restaurant to me. It was a restaurant.
Yeah.
But I had to remind myself, like when people walk through those doors, it's like beautiful, gorgeous. You know what I mean? It's like, how grateful am I that I get to work in a beautiful, gorgeous every day. Jason had said on the last podcast, and I needed this today because I'm like 7-8 meetings in some things. I'm like 6-7 meetings in some things. And when he said, when most people quit, I don't. And I was listening to that on the way here. And I told Jason, I almost pulled over and cried. Like, because it was just one of those moments in time where like, man, you know how like you start to question things and things aren't going as fast as you want them to go, but it's progressing. I just had one of those moments today where I was like, man, everything is just so much work. But when I heard that, as it was a reminder to me, like, oh, when most people quit, I don't. I'm like, man, I needed that.
Yeah.
You know, I was so grateful to have that. And that's like the mentality you've had. You know, when most moms quit, you don't, or when most parents quit, you don't. Like, you don't have an option to quit.
I don't know what most people do.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just know what I do.
You know what I mean? Like that.
Like what Jason said, I'm doing my best, and I really am. You know, I really am.
I was on the phone with somebody the other day, and they're talking about all these beautiful things that they want to do, and how they had applied for, you know, like a grant or something like that, and it didn't work out in their favor. And wonderful ideas. And I was like, oh, okay, well, like all the things you're talking about are great. Like, what have you been doing? I was like, well, really haven't been doing anything. I've just been getting all the ducks in a row. I'm like, oh, okay. So it's like you talk about doing but you ain't doing you know. And I was encouraging her. I'm like, man, sometimes like when you're creating like groundwork of things, you just like get your hands dirty. Don't talk about doing it, just do it. It doesn't have to be pretty. Remember you and me, I was in the toilet. We were like, are we recording? Literally. Let's just do the podcast. Like literally. And we just figured out as we go, and we're 22 episodes in now, and we still don't got everything figured out, but we have enough framework where we know what we're doing and how we're doing it.
I was telling the girls today, when I was at the Black Girl Magic, and the girls were like, why aren't you going to swim with us? It was like, how come you're swimming? I was like, I can't, y'all, because I got to leave early. You know, I got to go record my podcast, you know, and they're like, you got a podcast? I'm like, yeah, we got a podcast. So they wanted to know the podcast. So I showed them, you know, the show on Spotify and stuff like that. And they were like, wow, so is that really hard? And I was like, I wouldn't say that it's hard. I think that it's a commitment. I said, you know, the thing is that we did not know what we were doing. Well, most of us didn't. Jason knows what he's doing.
Shout out to Out Your Court.
We didn't know what we were doing at the beginning. All we had was a vision. And I was just like, so we just started. And I was like, and the thing is that every week we're publishing episodes. And so every week we're learning something different. I mean, even if you look like at the images of each episode, every week you're going to see a progressive like improvement in my skills when it comes to making the graphics, right? Because the first episode I didn't, and so then I tried one thing the next week, and every week I'm like, well, let me just try one skill to apply. it only takes you maybe 15 to 60 minutes to learn one skill in 1 week. And then if you practice it for 20 weeks, then you've learned so many different skills and practices and things like that, you know? And I told her, like, even last night, so last night I worked until like 9:30 last night, and I had no intentions of working that late, but I was with clients until 9:30 last night. And this was from 8:45 in the morning until 9:30. I did not have a break. And so I got done with my client at 9:30. I went through my mental adjustment because I do have to go through a mental adjustment when my schedule doesn't go the way that I had it perfectly planned out. I have to mental adjust, and that's why I know it's not meant for me to take same day appointments, because I have to mentally adjust for tomorrow. So I cannot take same day appointments. And so last night I was like, okay, I'm going to go through my emotions, deal with my whatever, having to adjust at the last minute to now I'm going to be working probably until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning. But I told myself I was going to get the podcast done and reply to these 4 long emails that I had to reply to. And so I'm sitting here, I'm uploading the podcast, I'm making the graphics while it's uploading, the videos are uploading to the different platforms. And I'm sitting up here, okay, Jason, bleep out my words because I'm gonna be transparent.
Okay.
I'm sitting here on the computer and I'm like, nobody gives a fuck about what I had to do this week, or the fact that I'm tired and my eyes are burning. Nobody gives a fuck about that. The only thing people give a fuck about is if the podcast is up or not. That's it. And I was like, I'm tired. I had to mentally adjust to now I'm up working later. I wanted to be in bed by 10, but I didn't get done working until 9:30. I didn't eat, right? But I was like, I'm going to get the emails done. I'm going to get the podcast uploaded. And then I'm going to close my eyes. I'm going to sleep for 5 or 6 hours. And so I was just like, as I was getting tired, and I was like, don't fall asleep, Keena. Get this done. Jason, bleep out these words, please. But I was like, every time, like when I was getting tired, or because I know when I'm tired, I don't operate at my full potential. Sometimes it's better to just go to sleep and do it the next day. But today I knew I was going to be busy all day, right? Mm-hmm. And so, but yesterday was my first chance to be on my computer and having internet, like Wi-Fi and all that. And so I was like, what was I doing? Okay, what was my next? Okay, here's my next step. All right. Oh my God. Okay, Keena, just get it done. Nobody gives a just get it done, you know? And I got it done. And there it was. And so I told her, I was like, you just got to, you know, every week you're going to do differently. Things come up. Every week you have a life that you live, things. And it's like, what do you do? Like when you're tired? What do you do when it's hard? And I was like, so just do that shit. And I didn't say that to her, but I'm saying, like, I told her, I was like, just still do it. I was like, we didn't even have a name for the show when we started, but we just did it. And every week we learn. And yes, we've been sick. Life has happened. We done dealt with things. Look, I went through a breakup, okay, and all of that stuff, and we still do the show. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I was like, and now here we got 21 episodes to show for it.
Had baby for like the first 5 months.
You know what I'm saying?
A newborn.
And I almost had 2 kids with me today.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, if they gotta come, they gotta come. And then y'all might see me on the show talking about some sit down. You know what I mean?
Sit your ass down. Bleep me out too, Jason.
We're not finna start all of this cursing, okay? But I had to be very transparent with, like, when I was telling her about the process and things like that. And I was like, you know, we do it, and it's a development and a growth, but then you're proud of yourself because you see, like, the things that you can do, you know? Mm-hmm.
I love it, you know, and I love that you addressed all that with them. It's all discipline, you know, that's what we're teaching people, is like being disciplined in what you think, what you do, and what you say is so critical. Like, we make commitments, like you said. We've gone through so many things over the last 6-7 months, and there's so many times where, you know, somebody's been tired, or, you know, something's happened and we've had to pivot and we've had to adjust. But it's like when we talk about the variables and understand that there's always going to be a variable, the difference between this side over here and this side over here is this side might say, hey, I'm tired, so I'm not going to. This side over here says, I'm tired, but I'm still going to. You know, because we're all tired. Making that decision to be committed. Even with a couple podcasts ago, you had the kids at Six Flags. He was like, nope, I'm on the pod. Like, I'm like, that lit a fire in me. Like, I executed a couple more things that day, you know? Just being in that circle of influence, that circle of trust.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's like we are in rooms with people that think similarly, so we enhance those things with each other.
I was just writing that today. I was like, my friends hold me to my standards. Like, we don't let each other, slip and go down unhealthy paths, and that's important that your circle, like, is of a quality like that.
100%.
So that's why I told them. I was like, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you get too caught up in everything being perfect and just right, or if you get hard on yourself for those type of things, you won't give yourself any opportunity or room to grow. So it's like, Miss Keena, why can't you stay? And I was like, I gotta go. Y'all should be on the show sometime. Raise your hand if you want to be on the show. I was like, oh my God, I have so many options for some wonderful guests.
That's so cool.
So they all said they're going to come to the show. Black Girl Magic, hey, what's up, girls?
Hey.
They said they were going to listen to the show too. So
okay,
so we got to bleep out that because one of the girls said, "And is it appropriate?" I was like, "Yes, it is." She did this with her hips too and her head. Is it appropriate? I was like, "Yes, it is." We are friendly for everybody on our show. See, and so then here I go breaking the rules right now. So yeah.
Good Bad Breakthrough, episode 22. Yeah. We on all platforms?
We're on all the platforms, y'all.
What platforms are we on?
So if you're watching the video version of this, I bet you 9 times out of 10, it's screaming across the bottom of your screen right now. And if you're not watching the video version of this, let me go ahead and tell you. We are on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Amazon Music, Audible, Google Podcasts, Pocket Casts, and a plethora of other podcasts, y'all. So check us out on any of those Anchor podcasts. If you click on the link, any of the links in the description box below is going to take you to all of the places that our podcast shows up on. Click on either one of the links, YouTube or the Anchor link. It's going to take you both to the list. Okay, click on the link. So catch us on there. We got the video version, we got the audio version. Listen to it in the car, and send this video or this audio stream to somebody who you think is going to be inspired or encouraged by listening to this episode today. A parent, a teen parent, somebody. We went to the teen summit. I went to the teen summit with my kids. Andrew's daughter was there, and it was just an amazing and beautiful space for the young people to be uplifted and empowered. So y'all, send this to somebody who will benefit from it. Okay.
Holla back.
Peace.